Hello beautiful people, it's Amanda here bringing you another Oracle deck review and flip through, and today I have the beautiful Practical Magic deck, a brand new one which is by Serene Conneeley and the artwork by Selina Fenech. These are two Australians and we really love to promote Australian work, but Selina and Serene's work is absolutely gorgeous, and I know you're going to love this deck, especially if you are a witch or a Wiccan or walking any of those magical paths. You'll really enjoy exploring this deck. It is, as you can already see, I'm sure, got a beautiful imagery in this deck. Selina's work is just amazing, but it also, this deck has the biggest guidebook I have ever seen with an oracle deck, and the information contained is just simply amazing. There's actually quite a few pages per card for you to be able to work with, which is awesome. So this one, you'll see it's quite a fat guidebook. The box itself is really quite big, I think, so that it can fit the guidebook most especially. So you're looking at about an A5 guidebook with this one, and it does have about 300 pages in the guidebook itself. Serene's really outdone herself with the information that is contained with this one. You certainly can't go wrong here. So there is an introduction and information about getting to know your cards, so giving some great suggestions on how to get to know these cards and ways to work with these cards as well. So things like passing through smoke and all those kinds of wonderful things we can do to connect with and work with the cards. Then she also has an alternative way to use the deck as well. So not just about doing spreads or maybe doing a card draw for the day, but also some suggestions of if there's something you're particularly needing, you can actually move through the deck looking at the deck and pull out what feels most appropriate and then read the section, because each section, as I said, each card has I think it's a minimum of 5 pages of information per card, and so there's lots of things that you can explore with each theme, which is amazing. So you could work that way as well, particularly with this deck. Serene also goes through the Wheel of the Year and just looks briefly at each of the Sabbats. And then she does have quite a few card layouts or card spreads that you can do with this deck that she suggests. So 1 card spreads, a couple of 2 card spreads, a few ideas for 3 card spreads, 5 card spread, and a year ahead spread as well. Some tips for preparing to do a reading, plus also if you like to create a sacred circle to be able to do your divination in. Serene also talks you through that as well, including some invocations to call your corners and all of that wonderful stuff, which is really wonderful. And how to complete your ritual as well once you're finished. She also has a suggested purifying ritual bath recipe in there, which you might like to do, and some ideas of things you could do as part of your bath, like a little ritual as well. And a beautiful just make the most of every moment. Then she dives into the card meanings, and as I said, each and every card we have quite a bit of information. So we of course have a little image here so you know you're on the right card. Then there is the meaning of the card, which there is quite a bit of information for each card meaning. And then she goes into the practical magic. So there's lots of suggested things you can do if this card has come up for you to help you work through whatever it is that's caused this card to come up for you. So lots of practical things you can do, a lot of magical things. So there's spells, there's working with crystals, connecting with the earth, all kinds of things like that, as well as just some really good practical life advice that goes on as well with various cards too, depending on what you've drawn and what has been appropriate. And of course a little bit more imagery dotted throughout the guidebook too, which is just beautiful. Some meditations. different ways to work with some of the elements and energies, actual spells that she guides you through. Some really amazing advice, which really helps you to feel connected to your practice, which really helps you to not only have a meaning to each one of your cards, but also to have some guidance and follow through to do as part of, okay, yes, this is definitely where I'm at when this card's come up. I really resonate with the meaning. Where to now? Well, Serene's got you covered. Like, she has literally given loads and loads of information and like homework for you to be able to do with each one of those cards. It's an amazing guidebook. Lots of love and thought has definitely gone into this. And some really wonderful themes, exploring lots of different areas of our life. Lots of really great life advice throughout it as well. So really wonderful advice, wonderful next steps to be able to take that come in with our guidebook. Now, as part of this deck, we also have our little stamp, so you can place a card, or you could fit 2 cards with the width of this if you want to. So whatever card you might be working with for that day, or maybe one of the cards from your spread stands out and it feels like that's your theme to work with, you could put it on your card stand, and that could go on your altar, on your bedside, or somewhere where you'll see it and be able to keep working with that particular energy. So that's really lovely to have in there too. And as you can see, it's a great size deck, a good handful. And as I said, the imagery is just stunning. You really kind of get swept into the energy of each card with the imagery here. The colours, the magic, the enchantment. You really feel connected and drawn into each one of the cards. I really feel like the girls have done an outstanding job with this deck. I'm so in love with it. I've been working with it every day myself and enjoying it immensely. And even if you don't take on all the advice that comes in the guidebook, there might just be one element each time you use a card that really appeals to you, that you decide to work with, and that is fine as well. I think Serene's main focus has been to give you lots of inspiration, so that when you do get a card, it's like, what can I work with? What feels relevant to really explore and work with further, so that perhaps you don't keep having that particular thing as being a roadblock for you in your life. You can actually do something to help you move beyond that particular roadblock. So even if you're doing readings for other people with this deck, you would have lots of different things that you could suggest for a client to be able to move forward with as well, which is really amazing. Something I often like to do is give my clients homework so that they can also feel empowered and supported and be able to move forward. So you definitely get plenty of that with this particular deck. Please do let me know if you have used this deck, what you think of this deck. I think it's just beautiful. I love every aspect of it, but do in the comments below let me know what you think, and if you've had a play with it, how you have found it as well. It is available through Mystical Dragon, both our in-store walk-in shop as well as on our e-store, or at least while stocks last. So do check that out there. Don't forget, you can also buy all your other bits and pieces you might need for any of the spell work or ritual work that you might need from Mystical Dragon too. I hope that you enjoy working with this deck, and I will see you at the next one, guys. Thank you.